I've said it before and I'll say it again. I believe in the final season of Picard, Season 3, we are having some good Star Trek to watch, my friends. I am enjoying this show. Now, I want to be clear on this, that I am not attacking Doomcock's channel. I am a fan of him and the characters that have developed around this channel. It's an entertaining watch. It really is, as far as I'm concerned. But in this particular case, a YouTube video he did about the first episode of Picard Season 3, roughly about 2 weeks ago, I have to question something he said on it. And information I'm going to provide here tonight, or today, whenever you're watching this video, will hopefully, if he's even going to watch, change his opinion on certain things. Now, I know he hates Star Trek as it is today, the incarnation of it, from Discovery to Picard, the Lower Decks, Prodigy, and even Strange New Worlds. I have not been a big fan of a lot of the Trek that is out there today, especially of Discovery. And with the announcement yesterday that Discovery is going off the air, that's just like, yes, thank you, Lord. I'm happy for that. And Season 1 and 2 of Picard, I was not a big fan of. But as of right now, Season 3, the final season, is doing what I was wanting it to. In his review, he was quoted as saying, "I could not stand by while Gene Roddenberry's masterpiece be debased like this, turning it from an inspirational future full of faith in humanity to a dumbed-down, cynical, violent piece of filth made by people who hate Star Trek." I agree with Doomcock on several things. One, the things that they were doing in Discovery, like torturing an animal so they could get the ship to go into some new speed drive system, spore drive, would not be approved of in the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. Even the original Trek would not have done anything like this. Since Discovery started, there have been no toy sales. That's been flat out gone, ruined, thanks to that. And when it comes to Picard Season 1 and 2 especially, how dumb of a plot is it that Q wants to send Picard, or rather disrupt Picard's ancestry timeline, just so he can show Picard that he can be forgiven for some past tragedy with his mother and learn to be loved again. Not exactly good storytelling as far as I'm concerned. But Terry Matalas is trying to put this thing to bed on a good note. There was one other person who has screamed about the debasement of Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek and what it should and should not be doing, and that is the creator himself, Gene Roddenberry. Gene hated Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. In fact, that was not his original idea. After the motion picture, Paramount went back to him and said, "Look, the motion picture did not do what we wanted it to, but we will give you one more try, and we want you to make us another Star Trek story." So Gene went off and wrote a new version of what Star Trek would be doing.
I am the guardian of forever.
Gene Roddenberry's script involved the Guardian of Forever and the Klingons. The script had the Klingons using the Guardian of Forever to travel back in time to the JFK era and prevent his assassination, somehow affecting the timeline and preventing Starfleet from being formed. When the executives at Paramount read the script, they flat out rejected it. They said, "This is not what we were looking for, and we're sorry, but we're going to have to turn creative control over to someone else." They turned it over to Harv Bennett, who became the executive producer. They asked him, "Can you give us a Star Trek movie for $40 million?" And he turned to them with a smile and said, "For $40 million, I can give you 5 movies. Harve Bennett employed Nicholas Meyer to be the director, and as we all know, Nicholas Meyer and Harve Bennett really were the ones who set Star Trek in motion from that point on. 4 films followed, and then we went to the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. All these films and television shows followed the Harve Bennett, Nicholas Meyer approach that was created through The Wrath of Khan. As for Gene Roddenberry, unfortunately, he was reduced to an executive consultant, which pretty much meant he could throw ideas at them, but they didn't have to accept them or even listen to his ideas. Gene Roddenberry hated the military idea of Star Trek. What they did to his show and to these movies was something he did not like at all. He hated a military concept. One of his biggest complaints was the amount of violence throughout the whole movie.
You son of a bitch!
He did not like the SETI eel coming out of Chekhov's ear and Kirk firing on it so close to him. He even complained about the Genesis device and how scientists would not accept the idea that Genesis could create life from nothing. He believed humans would be terraforming, and this would not be something the Federation would be accepting. And finally, there were rumors that Gene was the one who leaked Spock's death at the end of The Wrath of Khan. So Doomcock's words about not being able to stand by while Gene Roddenberry's masterpiece was debased like this is exactly the way Gene felt about The Wrath of Khan. But I'm going to make the argument right now that if it wasn't for Harve Bennett and Nicholas Meyer, and even Doomcock acknowledges that The Wrath of Khan is the best film out of them all, which set things in motion for Star Trek. If it wasn't for the changes that those two did, Star Trek would not be where it is today. And if Paramount had let Gene do the Star Trek he wanted to do, the sequel with the Guardian of Forever and the Klingons changing JFK's history, I don't think that we would have the Star Trek again that we have today. I think it probably would have died off. Now, as for Terry Matalas, I always have a problem with that one, but Matalas, I believe that what he is doing right now is creating some good Trek to say goodbye to the Next Generation crew. No one ever said that they were going to make the Next Generation series in this final season. They just said they were going to give them the send-off that they properly deserved. And I think the show is good so far. So I'm going to end the video right here, my friends, but you tell me what you think. Am I wrong? Do you think Doomcock's wrong? I would love to hear from you. Give me your thoughts and your comments, my friends. And until the next time, God bless.